Hello, Elizabeth and Jeroen. Welcome. It's so wonderful to see you both. And it's been 1 year exactly. We were in the Abbey in Belgium 1 year ago, last June. And so it's wonderful to see you guys again. So I hear that lots of amazing, wonderful things have been happening for you guys. Obviously, that took a lot of ups and downs before you got here. So, but despite the down moments, right? From what I hear, the up moments have been pretty awesome and out of this world for you guys. So, just look forward to hear more about your journey, your miracles, and all the wonderful stuff since you've moved into your new home, your forest. So, anytime you feel free to start, whichever of you may go first. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Welcome. Yeah, thank you, Nita.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, good to be here.
So, darling, would you like to start then? Would you like to go get the ball rolling?
Yeah, it has been since last year. The Abbey has been a very very strange year actually. Lots of things happening. Of course, the illness of my father, and then his passing on in last February, and yes, it has really impact on you, on you, on your life, on each other, on our family. But yeah, despite that, it also brings very good moments and good times. You feel as a family also you get closer, and it also brings good things, and yeah, especially for my father, I'm happy. I'm happy his suffering is over, and he's in a good place now. And but for us, also it has been really a year of saying goodbye to old things and going to new things. A lot of things have ended and new things started, and of course, our house. Yeah, suddenly things start rolling, and we come into towards this new house, this new place for us, and it has been a big step, but it is it's wonderful. We enjoy it really, and old things ended, new things started, and we're very happy. We're very positive, looking forward into the future, and things look really, really great. Yeah. So yeah.
Thank you, Jeroen. And for you, Elizabeth?
Yeah, like Jeroen shared, it has been really a process for both of us, for our family, and for even our father-in-law, even though he's not here. I think since the Abbey, I think the Abbey was Jeroen's first time having retreats in silence in the Abbey, having contemplation, and first time retreat with Nita as well.
Yes.
I'm actually very happy for him to commit himself to growth, to transformation, to the willingness to go for this retreat, and actually seeing you for the spiritual direction. So ever since then, it changes not only just Jeroen but also our life, our marriage together, our journey together as an individual as well as a couple. I have been walking on this journey most of the time, and Jeroen has actually been supporting me throughout every moment, whether in therapy, whether in my professional work, or whether in anything that I work on. He's really like they say behind every man is a success. Behind every successful man behind every successful man is a woman. I think this is the other way around. So every successful woman is a man. So in this case, it's very much you behind my back. Yeah. So yeah, I would say that this 1 year of journey is not just going through our own growth and transformation, as well as witnessing my father-in-law growth as well, and the family transformation as well as we grew really closer. We really see each one of us mature as a person. Yeah, and it has moments of time where it was quite difficult for both of us, where it's inevitable that in life all of us individually has our own burdens, our own tendency. I won't call it weaknesses, our tendency and belief system, and whatever wounds or hurts that has been happened to us in the past. If we have not looked into it and heal ourselves, it will surface somehow. The projection of the past onto your present moment, whether with a partner or whatever. So it does happen for both of us.
Yeah,
it did happen, and so to raise that awareness of to become conscious of more of our own self-knowledge and the tendency that we tend to project or do or even sometimes hurting each other. I mean, it's inevitable in relationship. What is really important is that in every conflict arises healing, arises transformation and growth for both of us. So it's very interesting that sometimes we had conflicts on the day itself, and the next day was like, because for us, we agree that we don't sweep under the carpet. We will bring it up to the surface, we will talk about it, we will see what is actually going on for both of us, and looking into it, into ourselves, into each, with each other. And always arises growth and transformation, I have to say. It's so interesting, especially for Jeroen. I would say that in the past, it's also the same for me. In the past, it takes a much longer period of time to process it. But however, I felt that ever since you went to the Abbey and he started his own process, and say yes, commitment to himself. I'm very amazed by how to put it, Anita? I can't explain. It was like we bound. I would say maybe use the word bounce back pretty quickly. Yeah. Am I right? You sense that also? We wrote.
Yeah. In the past, you would stay much longer in. Dwell about it and think about it. And now it's okay. We say to each other what we want to say, and then from there on, it's good, and process it, you heal, and you grow from it. So
As you're speaking, right, I'm listening wholeheartedly, but also, both audibly and visually. I would like to ask you, right, because we're really doing this for the first time, 3 persons. Firstly, on your computer screen right now, who is in the bigger picture? Is it you guys or me?
Bigger picture as in?
Who do you see on your computer screen? Is it me or is it both yourselves?
We see
the
you.
3 of us.
We see both. Yeah. We see you. And
are we all on the same size? Are we side by side? You've put on the great. Thank you for checking that, because mine is not. So obviously, thank you. We see we are learning. Secondly, I think the sound wise, could you, Elizabeth, move back a little bit and speak again? Say something.
Hello.
Now come closer and say something.
Hello.
Okay, closer is better.
Okay.
I think there is echo when you speak away.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's great. But firstly, I want to honor, give thanks, and just say that I am so deeply moved in the first place when the both of you decided to go ahead with the retreat anyway last year at the Abbey, especially Jeroen when your father was not well. And I really, really want to honor your father and your mother now because I think they gave you this strength, this gift that there was so much affirmation from him to say, go ahead for your retreat, I'll be fine. It was also almost like, he said, don't worry, I'll be fine while you're away. If he decided to go back to heaven, he will wait for you to come back from retreat. He won't go while you're away. So firstly, your courage, your saying yes to yourself, to your own relationship with your father, your own relationship with Elizabeth, and your relationship with God. And this is, from what I see, this is your cornerstone, or this is your foundation that that I see from both of you, this commitment to, as Elizabeth said, not to sweep things under the carpet, to bring it out, sometimes ASAP, because as we know from all relationships, whether it's a spouse, whether it's a sibling, whether, in families are complicated, right? And there are times when maybe one person is just stressed out, and even without a loud volume, certain things that we say may just hurt the other party, knowingly or unknowingly. And like I say, sometimes it's never about the volume. It doesn't take a loud voice. It might be the choice of words. It might be just the fact that when we are stressed out, we mind a lot more things. We are so-called more petty about things in life. So knowing that there are times that these little things and big things can be difficult, and saying that, okay, we want to bring it out in the open, and let's look at it together, lovingly. It says a lot about, because I believe that when you are loving to each other, you are loving to yourself, vice versa. And when I use that word loving, it's truly divinely loving, yeah, not a very narcissistic form. It's also when you divinely empower each other, you actually empower yourself. So I hear that sometimes in words, sometimes in just actions, that the both of you in your own ways have taken both words and actions to this commitment for yourself and for each other. And which is also kind of why, when you say yes to one thing, it's sort of like it started the ball rolling, and more things were able to come to the surface. And then you got a choice to say whether yes or no to each thing that came, as if each thing was a brand new invitation. Even in the way that you said goodbye to your father, the way that you made it a loving family affair. I also applaud, from what I know, that now originally the plan was that while you move to the forest, it's got to be very far for you to get to work, Jeroen. So I remember that original plan was that you're going to live with your father. And I actually really, really like the fact that even though you can't live with your father right now, but that you will spend those days with your siblings, that you are strengthening that bond, that I'm sure, right? It's just been 2 months, right? But I'm sure, even though we haven't spoken about them, this conversation, I have a feeling that your relationship with your siblings have changed just in these 2 months. That for sure it's a deepen, or more things have come to the surface too, probably. Yeah, and I applaud your courage. I remember how it was 2-3 years ago. What was it, 2 years ago, when the idea first came to move to the forest, right? And how that search was. It was a 2-year search, right? And literally, like, this being the first house or first property you saw, and such a roundabout way. Literally, you went around the whole county, for lack of a better word. I don't know, maybe province is the word in the Netherlands, before you finally came back to this same property. But that's great, because I remember saying that each house, each property you visited was a school. So each of them was a gift, was a free lesson.
Yeah, definitely.
So saying all this, right? Name me maybe two things. The first one, what took the most courage and strength? Secondly, what are you for yourself personally most grateful for about yourself and about each other today? So let's do the first one first. What took the most courage and strength was really, really difficult?
For me, most courage is to move out, because it's all the other side of the country, and it's quite a big step. Yeah, if you spend your whole life in one place and you move out to a totally different area, it's not another country, but it can feel like it in the beginning, because it's very different, but in a good way. And so it was a big step, but I'm very happy with it. And we moved to a place where there's so much more, you have so much more quietness, friendliness of people, and then you realize, okay, what you missed actually in the place where you have grown up, and you realize, oh, things can also be like this. And I it took courage, but I'm very happy we took this step and did this. Yeah, so it was good.
So yes, what are you most grateful for about yourself and then about Elizabeth?
About myself, grateful that I've been able to become more flexible. And I used to be very rigid, but I learned to be more flexible with things, and try and accept changes, and it becomes better. So I'm glad I'm able to do that. And I think that it also helps, like also the retreat last year, that helps me also to grow in that aspect. And so I'm very happy, and I'm very thankful to Elizabeth for all her support and encouraging. And she always tell me if I lose my way again and go back to my old things, and she always reminds me gently, and so she keeps me on the right path that I took already. So I'm very grateful for. So we are a good team together.
Yeah, because I really want to say well done, because you not only move across the country to the opposite side of the country, you move from a city to a forest, and I also want to affirm your own interests. I feel like like you've had all these interests, all these, whether we call them passions or hobbies, that even if whether or not we voiced them up, God was obviously aware. Because, for example, this morning I was just listening to the birds next to my house singing. And I live in the city, so I don't have as many birds as you do. And that sense of, actually, I'm not that interested in finding out what species they are and where are their nests. But I really applaud your interest in this, that, bird watching, photography and all that. So it's almost as if when you took that courage to do something that seems so extreme, and yet, as you said, it was a really good move. And it's almost as if when you pluck up the courage to do something fantastic like this, not only that God gives you a very supportive partner, but God himself herself, is very supportive and make sure that your heart's desires, your passions in life are also being fulfilled and deepened, because that sense of, you know, you're growing in your passions. You get to find out more about birds and their nests and their lifestyles, and obviously every moment is a moment for photography in your forest. So yeah, so well done and congratulations.
Thank you.
And you, Elizabeth, let's start with the one that took the most courage and the one that took the most strength.
When you ask me this question, and now that thinking of it, actually is more of a darkness. I'm terrified of darkness. I'm terrified of yeah. So actually, I went through a very, very interesting process. First in contemplation, I think the years of contemplation that I had, being alone, being by myself, it indeed prepared me for this forest, because there will be days that actually in a week your room will be away and I'll be totally alone. And it's very different from a city. City is like you always get lights around you no matter where, you know. But in the forest, it's like totally pitch dark. I can remember the one time when we went to the B&B in Over Isles, and a house that we were interested in as well at the time, and it was really pitch dark. And then I told him, I said, I don't know whether I can overcome this or not. He said, come, let's get out in very early in the morning. Come, let us walk and see whether you're okay with it. So that is how I was like, no, really, yeah, darkness. But God heals, like you say, you know, it's very interesting. When I came here, I actually enjoyed that darkness. I enjoyed the darkness where I can see stars. And so I know that I actually overcame that fear. Totally overcame that fear. In fact, it's like I'm quite bold, you know. It's not in the middle of the night. I will stare out in the forest and say, "Hey, is there any other creatures in there? You know, what are they doing?" So I think, yeah. So that was the most thing. One of the things that I overcame. Actually, I'm no longer afraid of darkness anymore.
Yeah. And what are you thankful for in yourself? And then what are you thankful for in Jeroen?
I'm thankful that I know what I want, and that it's a really a gift that when the moment I know what I want, I will walk it. I will go towards that path. I will go towards the desire, because I actually, I mean, I have very many conversations with you, and I find it so interestingly that not many, you know, as many people come and talk to me about, especially when I became a therapist, and then, you know, a lot of them are interested in dance therapy and ask me about my story. For me, it's like I never think twice or thrice. You know, at that point of time, I know that this is what I want and I want to do, and I will just walk it. I will just do it. You know? So it's the same for this forest thing. I'm very clear. After going through the process and contemplation, and I'm very aware of myself that I'm somebody that need to it's my own needs actually to move in the forest, because I cannot stand city life anymore. It's all along it's too much for me. So I need to. I told him. I said, you know, it's very interesting, because when I moved to Sri Lanka, I really felt quiet, silence. You know, it was really such a pleasure. It's different from Singapore. But after living there for almost coming to 13 years, I don't know, maybe the place has changed and so forth. It really get onto me to realize actually it's still a city area. So after that, yeah, very clear that yeah. So this, I find that I'm very grateful that whatever that when clarity comes to me, you know, I will do it. So I'm thankful for that gift that I have. I'm very, very grateful for Jeroen. Thankful for him for saying yes to himself. Yes, it's not just moving yes to the front. I think it's very important for me is that he made the commitment to himself to grow, to know himself better. It's not easy because I've been working with a lot of women, and most of the time women are the one who comes for therapy, for healing. You know, they take the steps to do, you know, to want to I always say the word improve, to heal themselves, whereas not many men wanted to do that, have the courage. So yeah, there were a point of time that I really felt challenged by the place that we stay, and also challenged by a point, you know, I mean, inevitable. Whatever hurts and wounds that we have, it will come up, and then and it affected my, you know, the things that he had not healed in the past. He really projected onto our marriage, and which I find quite challenging. So, you know, it came a point that I had to sit with him and really have many serious conversation and ask him, you know, look, you know, it's really affecting our relationship, is really affecting the way we communicate. It's inevitable that it will surface. You know, when the defense mechanism has wear off, you no longer can help us, then, you know, then that kind of conflicts arises because of he wasn't aware. He's not conscious of it. It's until we have many series of conversation and, you know, finding out and going deeper. And very grateful for him for saying yes to himself, making that commitment, because I know it's not easy. It's not easy at all, and willing to walk hand in hand in this in our marriage together with each other, and I really salute his courage, his yes. So thank you.
And let's continue this flow in our conversation into deeper, you know, insights and whatever you feel comfortable sharing with everyone else about your marriage. But to ground the both of you back in our first original desire, the desire to have this conversation on video, let's go back to the origins of that desire and how, you know, you are ready to open up about your marriage to the world, really. So again, let's start with Jeroen, since we've been starting with Jeroen.
I think we've now been married for 13 years over, and it's
13 years.
Yeah, 13 years
already,
this year. Yes.
You really grow in those years. You really learn a lot, and it's also a process of learning, get to know each other, and communication is especially very important in the marriage, and it's something that I really had to learn, and still in the process of learning, because sometimes not always. Sometimes I keep things in my head, and instead of getting it out or say, because for instance, she often asks me, how do you feel? Then I know in my head, but I cannot put it into words or so, and those simple things, and she helps me to get more in touch with my feelings, and that's really an important thing in the marriage, to ask each other how you feel, and So yeah, that's one important aspect of a marriage. But I'm very thankful that we, in those 30 years, we keep on growing, we keep on encouraging each other, and yeah, I'm very thankful for that as well. Yeah.
Yeah. From what I see, you really complement each other. So what made you say yes to this video? And the second question, in your 13 years of marriage, right? What have you found most challenging? And be very honest. And what have you found has changed today since then till now? So the first question is, what made you say yes to this video? And I would like to share with everyone to know that the desire first came from the two of them, not from me. I was the one who received the wonderful invitation to be in conversation with the both of them, and I was so excited. So I want to hear about what made them decide to have this conversation. And then, like I said, what was the most challenging and what has changed since then? So let's do the first question first.
Well, yeah, Elizabeth, of course, started, and she was very enthusiastic. She showed me other videos, and I think it's good to talk about our marriage, how things are going, and especially whatever happens to us, maybe good for others to hear, to realize things, or and help them also in their marriage. Everyone has up and downs in their marriage, and we encounter them, and others will encounter them too, and maybe they will recognize and then they realize things. And so if we can help people in this way, this will be very good. So, yeah. So,
And the next question, what has been the most challenging from your opinion, from your perspective?
The most challenging, I think my process of of sharing my feelings, my inner thoughts with Elizabeth, and usually I'm very much in my head, things in my head, and she say mostly I'm in my head, not in my heart, and I'm in the process now of getting in touch with my feelings and with my heart then. But that is really a challenge for me. It's not easy for me, but I have a great support here. So I'm making progress. A few, and I'm happy about it.
Yeah, and I want to affirm you again that both your thoughts and your feelings are very, very, very valid and very, very, we want to acknowledge and honor them, both your thoughts and your feelings. And I think that sometimes it's also a challenge to voice up, right? So congratulations for doing a video. I don't think this would have happened 10 years ago, right? Or maybe not even 5 years ago. Yeah, so thank you, and I honor you, Jeroen, for your courage, for your willingness to be open, not just to Elizabeth and to us. You're opening up yourself actually first to yourself.
Thank you. Yeah.
And when you open yourself to yourself, you actually open up to the God that you love, the God that has been there from your childhood, that has been there through the ups and downs with you. So yeah, you're opening up to God too. So thank you, and congratulations.
Thank you too. Yeah. I want to thank you too also for the retreat last year, and that really helped me and put me on the right track, on the start of a new path to follow. And so I'm very thankful for that to you as well.
Thank you, and my pleasure, sincerely. And you, Elizabeth. So yeah, let's talk about the first question. What made you want to do this video?
Yes, it has always been my desire to share more from our personal story. Because I work with married women, and often hearing their stories and working, yeah, walking with them in the journey, and I also share, our personal story with them as well to encourage them that it is possible to have this very honest, authentic conversation with each other. So yeah, it has always been my desire, and I know that Jeroen is not ready to share. Because he's also he's somebody who often keep to himself, often not able to express himself very much. However, over the years, he has opened up. So especially when we moved to this forest, even more. And I really see his growth, from a very, I have to use the word, painfully shy person that I used to know him. He doesn't even dare to look at people in the eyes, and he also dare not to approach people. And I was very astonished, like, huh? I don't get it. I was like a bit confused, like, huh? I mean, I've never seen a child I can understand, a youth I can understand, but a human adult so painfully shy. I was quite taken aback. So, which I totally don't get it. And after that, gradually, when I get to know his story, then I come to understand how come, why he was so painfully shy. Can I say? Can I share about that?
Oh, you don't really have to. You can just, some things we can keep keep with
Yeah.
ourselves, and then
So,
just share things that are, yeah, that that will be helpful for both yourselves and for others.
yeah. So, but he has really, I mean, even my family can also see his change. Because when he first came, he was really, really shy. But as my sister ever shared also, that he became so confident, able to be able to socialize, and I really see his growth. He's more comfortable with himself now, very, very comfortable. So I'm very happy. I'm very happy for him. However, maybe he's so in marriage, you are so used to be sometimes so used to how to put it. Maybe the tendency to keep to himself more in marriage. So often than not, he doesn't open up himself to share with me what is his thought. Share. I felt very alone, sometimes, because I had to guess his body language. I had to guess his thoughts, and I'm like, I keep telling him, I'm not God, I cannot read you. So I think as women also, our emotional desire is also for our men, to communicate with us, to express themselves. And I think we are very emotional people. So I did tell him that this is my need, for you to open up, because it took him a very, very long time to be comfortable to be able to express himself, because it's not his natural way of self. So yeah, he opened up, and that's how we deepen our relationship. We deepen our love for each other, and yeah. So yeah.
the reason I say, it's not that important whether we share about what exactly happened, because I think that we all have a background, we all have a history, we all have our own baggages, right?
Mhm.
And that's important to acknowledge. Uh, Even if it's hard to be grateful for the bad things that happen to us in our lives. um, I use the word honor. Honoring means say that, okay, I begin to accept that, at least just accept that it happened.
Mhm.
And and it's not looking at the good and the bad of our past and of our life, but what can I make of it today, the
Mhm.
present and the future. For example, I think it's miraculous that someone like Nelson Mandela was in prison for 27 years. But the 27 years was like, I'm sure it was not easy, but it really transformed him. The guy that came out was not interested in punishing the people who put him in prison. He could come out and have a more sincere, genuine acceptance of people of different race, that more sincere and genuine wanting of equality, not just of gender, not just of race, etc., etc. Right? And I would say the same for you guys. It's so from all that has happened in your marriage to say something very exciting, it's almost as if since you've moved to the forest, Elizabeth, you now have got a new man. You got a new woman.
Yes.
I remember hearing some of your stories that Jeroen is the one talking to strangers who walk past your property and find out all these young things about that. Not Elizabeth. Elizabeth is minding her own business, gardening, and then Jeroen's the one talking to strangers. So that very extreme change of as you using your description of being painfully shy to someone uh, who is proactive in meeting people who are just average person but genuine in wanting to find out more about your place, etc. And then you found out that they were former owners, etc. So yeah, so you're getting new people in your marriage.
You
Yes.
like you, man.
Exactly. Don't need to go out there, finding a new partner. You already have one right next to you right now. But that's the amazement. And I think that it's very crucial for everybody who's interested, especially in what we call the spiritual journey. It's not just the spiritual, it's in all things in life, right?
Yes.
Any couple would drift apart if we increasingly don't do things together. It's like, when you dated, you spend so much time with each other. Obviously, you will get to know each other so much better. And then work comes into the picture. For some other couples, children comes into the picture. And then you're so focused on everybody else and everything else. Firstly, you forgot about yourself.
Yep.
And obviously, you will forget about the person closest to you because you take the people closest to you for granted.
Yes.
So, again, that same sense of when you love each other sincerely, you love yourself. When you empower each other sincerely, you empower yourself. So that sense of, I see that in you guys, that you not only make effort to so-called open up, to communicate more, to the willingness to do things together. For example, Jeroen's case of coming for the retreat for the first time last year. And then I hear that you guys have done some, online courses like the Teresa of Avila course together online. It's these little things, right? And you don't want to be in each other's time, each other's pocket the whole time, because you need a lot of private me space too. And I think it's beautiful from what I've heard that you've been able to share the balance of yourselves and each other, but also with others, like Jeroen's case. I think I get the sense that you've had the opportunity to spend more time with your siblings, and just for the information of other people who've joined our conversation, Jeroen comes from a fairly big family. So he's got, in my opinion, I only have one younger brother, right? So he's got quite a few more of those. And yeah, and vice versa, that you have time for yourself, you have time for each other, you have time for others. That balancing act is never easy. But again, the courage, the openness, that from what I hear, it's allowing the space that you now live in, allowing the forest that you now live in to become an active agent in transforming each of you and each other too. I think that's, you started a conversation, Jeroen, with saying that so much has happened in 1 year. A lot of passing away, including father, including house that you sold, including arrangements that you thought was going to happen. And to say, okay, it's fine, I'm willing to accept whatever that was unplanned, unexpected, let it come anyway. And also, like I say, you're so cared for, provided for, as God gave you this space, this sanctuary, this forest that allows all this to hold all this as a sacred space, to hold all this, so that these things can also happen in a positive, good way. And knowing that this is your home, when, like Elizabeth's case, someone who's afraid of darkness, afraid of being alone, and be okay with living in this forest, 3 days a week, while Jeroen is at work in the city. So yes, I really, really want to honor both of you and your journey so far. Let's open up the floor. Feel free to say whatever you would like and whatever you are comfortable expressing. And any of you can go first.
All right, and I will take actually, what comes to me is inspiration. When you talk about we have individual space as well as space for each other and also space for others. What is really amazing that both of us are fascinated is that because the place that we are staying now is really big. The point of that, I don't even know where he is. I have to ring the bell. Ding, 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 where are you? I couldn't find him. It was so funny. So so it's we really have our own individual space whereby he goes off to do his own stuff. I will go off to do my own stuff. And where we have our own me time, and at the same time where we also come together to do things together, like for example picking up the branches and then turn it into wood chip. It was such a fun collaboration. And then we have to water because it was so dry that we need to water the plants, because I told him I think we really need to water the plants. The plants are feeling so thirsty. I also feel very thirsty for them. So that he will take the very old fashioned way. He will take the pail tied with a rope and then throw it in the water and then collect, and then he will fill up the what's it called? I don't know what is in English. Where you watering can. Watering can. So it's a really wonderful collaboration. We enjoy doing that together. And many times, sometimes I need inspiration, and I say, "Come walk with me in the forest. Walk with me, and then let us get inspired. How we want the forest to evolve." So so I'll take him for a walk around the forest, and then say, "All right, you have any inspiration?" Or when I spoke with inspiration, I said, "Oh, I'm inspired this morning. I woke up and I'm laughing, and I want to put my stones. I'm gonna wake up at 5:30 a.m. Would you like to join me?" So that's how we we really like the fact that we believe in individual me time, which is very important, as well as couples time together which is also very important, and also time with others, whether it's with family, with friends, or with people, so forth and so forth. So we found a balance. We struck a balance. Yesterday we were walking to the kitchen, to the the chicken farm to buy
and yes, the chickens are in your kitchen more or less now. Everything's in your backyard.
Then I told him, I said, I suddenly it just dawned on me, my God, it's like it's literally like going holiday, where we are saying that we really felt like it's a holiday. I said, isn't it amazing now we don't have to travel, we don't have to drive to somewhere, just to enjoy the place. There's so much of freedom because it's our own place, really our own place, where we are free to do anything that we want. We're free to go out, into the space. Because if you go to somewhere, still you're being constrained somehow, limited by certain things because it's still not your own. You can't do certain things, or you cannot do certain things. So whereas here is like literally, I'm just so thankful and grateful that both us like, hey, finally, every day is a holiday, holiday vacation, especially for you, right? We like to share.
Wednesdays I drive back from work to here, and then halfway or so, then I already get vacation feeling, holiday feeling. So, good. Even though I still have to work 2 more days, but it is good. It's always a good feeling coming back here.
It's really the ultimate working from home, right? Because you only have to be at your workplace 3 days a week?
3 days in
the office.
In the office, and then 2 more days in another location of my company, nearby here. So
2 days is a half day actually. So half day come back and then spend that.
The afternoons I'll be back here. And we can do things together.
Oh, that's so wonderful! Literally the ultimate work from home.
Yes.
Anything else that you would like to say, Jeroen?
We live now 2 over months here, and I really enjoy. We both enjoy. We discover every time we discover new things here around in the garden, in the house, and it's good. We discovered the buzzard nest with young birds.
Yeah, this morning.
So yesterday we saw young birds, young buzzards in the nest. So it's great. And last week we discovered a water well under our stones. So it's fresh water. Well, it's very good, nice gift, especially in these dry days. So every time something new, and it's great.
This is so crazy, right? So now you've got your own well, your own water supply, and then I remember that once you guys have the opportunity and the finances and the right contractors to do some work on your roof, you're gonna get solar panels and rainwater containers, etc. So you're gonna be very soon you'll be off grid. So hooray, self-sustaining off grid, fantastic. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, both of you, for this conversation. For everybody else who joined us on this conversation, thank you for your time. I know that this was a very candid, very literally you've been invited into Jeroen and Elizabeth's kitchen. They are talking from so know that all our information, all details about our background, Jeroen's job, etc., Elizabeth, myself, will all be available on our website. Know that their forest is open for retreats and for coaching, for therapy, etc. they don't have accommodations on their property, but they have amazing neighbors who run a B&B, so that's an option. And if not, there are definitely options in the area. I live in a very sacred place myself that is also open for people to come and stay and come and have their own vacation. I call it vacation with self, with God, in Malaysia right now. So those information are also going to be available on our website. So feel free to contact us too if you like to have a deeper conversation with us, whether as a triad or whether it's one-on-one. Come contact us if you'd like to know more about us. Thank you again for all your time. Take care and goodbye.
Bye. Thank you.